Well, hello again, everyone. Thanks for visiting once again. Just a quick update film for you today. And as you can see by the shakiness of the camera, I'm actually holding this. So we're going to be doing this hydraulically today because I want to show you over some things. As you can see, the detail of decaling and so on and so forth has been done. The painting has been done. I've overcoated these decals with some gloss varnish. It's not gone down particularly well, I think, which you can maybe see from looking at this. I'll see if I can perhaps show you this. Not quite, you can, but they're not bad, to be honest with you. You can see that the lines show through, so the decals look like they're painted on, particularly these ones, which I think are quite important because they'll be the first thing that people's eyes alight on. That's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. In all honesty, there's one more thing to do in terms of putting bits on, and that's this little whatnot here that goes just in these holes here. There's two of them, one either side. Now, after much research, I've managed to discover what they are. And they are what's called labyrinth vents. So what I've done here with these is I've painted the bottom side of it white, because they were clear parts, interestingly enough. I've painted the bottom side white and the top side semi-gloss black, and I'll stick them into those holes. So it gives some additional interest, something additional to look at. I think the panel lines with the pre-shading have shown through nicely. I think the effect is subtle enough, and it looks, I think, pretty good. What I will be doing as well is doing some oil washes on this, just to make it look a little bit more lifelike, because at the moment it's sort of what one might call museum condition, shall we say. Let's move my hand away from there because you won't be able to hear what I'm saying very well. It's sort of museum condition at the moment. Obviously the canopies are going to have to get taken off, and what I will do with these is I will remove the canopies here and here and pose them open, and I'm going to put some detailing inside the inner part of the canopies, as well as painting the canopies. And I did some experimentation with this. Let's just zero out here so you can see this. This was the CMK upgrade canopy, which is made of some sort of celluloid material. I had two choices, and I think this one I'm looking at here on this side was orange and silver, I think. Now this was clear orange and titanium gold, and I think that looks really about as close to the colour of the anti-flash protection, which was a gold coloured protection that actually went in the canopy windows here. To a lesser extent it went in the front, but I haven't put it in at all because I think if you put it in, it doesn't look very good. So what else have we done here? Quite a few upgrades here. You can see Pito heads here and here. These were only fitted to XR2. Oh, sorry, this lower one was only fitted to XR219. The top one was fitted, I think, or would have been fitted to the subsequent aircraft. I don't know what this one does, to be honest with you. There's another Pito here that I've put in, which you can clearly see on the photographs of Cosford model, as well as I think the Duxford model as well. But I've used Cosford model, the 220, as my reference on this particular one. There's another one exactly the same place on the other side. The equipment bay here, there's one on both sides. I've drilled out some holes here, and the way I've done that is created a template for this, and there were 7 holes or 7 rivet marks. Not rivet marks, they're like Zeus connectors, for example, but they're flush. 7 top and bottom, and at the side there were 5, so they're evenly spaced on both sides. They're not quite accurate, but if we look at it from sort of this distance, it doesn't look too bad, I would say. I think that's pretty good. Introduced nose wheel steering jacks. You can just see them under there. They're really pretty small, but I've overpainted them, to be honest with you. That was an accident I had with the airbrush. That wasn't a particularly good idea, but here it is. The auxiliary air intakes I've marked open. Moving further aft, we have the undercarriage front doors are closed. That's the same for the rear front undercarriage doors. So they will always be closed unless the undercarriage was rising or falling, as it were. So what I've now done is, having done an awful lot of work inside the undercarriage bay, I've hidden it all. But look, it was a good exercise to do. I've used lead wires and other types of wires to introduce hydraulic pipe details. You can do the same, and it's a really good move from that perspective. So you can see here as well, I've put the Aylesbury strut on. That's this part here. It's a three-stage, 1, 2, 3 stage, or 2 stage, depending on which way you'd like to think about it. It adds quite a lot to this. It's not called out in the instructions. So these two parts, you will find them in the kit. They're parts A35 and A36, so don't throw them out. You can glue them in. They go in very nicely, very easily. The other thing I've done here is to introduce, and you can see how grubby my painting is when you look up close. I've introduced hydraulic pipes. Sorry, that's me being hydraulic again. So the hydraulic pipes here that go around the scissor damper section here, and also there are hydraulic boxes and pipes coming down from the top of the undercarriage. That adds a little bit of extra interest, something else to look at here. So moving further back, you can just make out here both sets of air brakes are posed slightly open. As you will remember me saying, this had to do with the jack that opens them, which is held behind this container here. On 219 they always had problems with that, so it was they either had them slightly cracked open like that or fully locked shut, so they couldn't be used when they landed. Moving to the back here, obviously, as you will remember me talking about before, there's upgraded tailpipes in there, and I've done this two-tone. That's come out subtly and very nicely. I'm pleased with that very much. That's kind of about the size of it in terms of where we are with this right now. I'm going to get some oil washes. I don't have any at the moment because I'm still quite new to this particular job, as it were. But we're near the end. I think it's a good job. I'm pleased with how it's turned out. You can see the reflection of the gloss varnish on the lighting there, which is probably puts the point across. These walkway guards here, in terms of the demarcation lines, have gone down very nicely. It's quite a difficult job to do that, and I would suggest that you take a lot of care. You'll see that in the middle here there's a gap. They didn't quite meet up. I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I probably won't do anything, to be honest. So there we are. What I will do is I will take you through the canopy modifications, because I'm going to put some strengthening bars in, and I'm going to try and cannibalise the CMK resin parts as well, to give some additional interest and some additional detail. So there we go. Just before I go, a quick thank you to everybody who's subscribing to the channel. I'm very pleased to meet you, and I'm very pleased to hear from you if you comment. I'm going to do one more small video about this when it's fully complete. I'm going to get a display case for this. It'll be quite expensive, but I'm going to get one, I've decided. But anyway, thanks to everybody who's subscribed. Thank you for everybody who comments. Absolutely delighted to hear from you. And I'll let you all go. And thanks very much for watching this one. And see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.